Good evening, everyone. Tonight, BBC Toastmasters Talk Show invited one of the most interesting and experienced speakers in London. Please welcome Dave Longley. Dave, why and when did you join Toastmasters?
I joined Toastmasters in 2006, towards the end of that year. And why did I join? I thought it might look good on my CV, and Toastmasters and communication is something that applies across the board. Yes, if you were, say, an actuary, then you need mathematics, or a geologist, you need geology, but communication skills, universal.
What was the most challenging in your Toastmasters career?
One of the most challenging was, I think, actually turning up for my very first meeting. Between discovering Toastmasters and actually arriving at my first meeting took me a year of procrastination and thinking, oh no, I've missed the date again, and forgetting the date and having to look it up again on the internet. But finally I did take the plunge and walk through the door at my very first meeting with Croydon Communicators.
Fantastic.
In October 2006.
Can you give examples of positive changes in people attending Toastmasters clubs?
Yes, I can. A couple of instances spring to mind. There's a chap called Malachi Talabi, and he joined Toastmasters 3 years ago, 3 years ago. And listening to some of his later speeches, you learn that he was actually very reluctant to turn up to Toastmasters, and it was his wife, Mildred, who nudged him into doing it. And he was looked after by the club and entered the contest. Again, he was reluctant to enter the contest, but Mildred again. And he won the club contest, and the area contest, and the division contest, and the district contest. And in 2011, went to Las Vegas to represent UK and Ireland. So that's somebody who very definitely was changed by Toastmasters. And now he's having an impact on other people by giving keynote speeches and his CDs and his published books and all kinds. Just think he was reluctant to go out.
What is your personal Toastmasters goal for this year?
My personal Toastmasters goal for this year is to reach Distinguished Toastmaster. My goal for the division is for similar qualification, similar award for the division, and for the new clubs to become solid and viable and chartered, which is properly recognised by Toastmasters, happy and expanding clubs.
I heard that you are very fond of historical aviation. What sparkled your interest?
I don't know. As far as I can remember, I've always been interested in that topic, but I couldn't tell you what incidents really, or set of incidents, circumstances really triggered that interest. Maybe it was the comics, I don't know, even when I was very little, don't know.
Are you attending air show, and if yes, is it a dangerous place for people to visit?
Yes, I do. I'll be booked to visit 2 air shows this weekend, one in Shoreham and one near Beagleswade in Bedfordshire. Are air shows dangerous? Well, you can't deny, yes, there is an element of danger, because it's fast-moving machinery, and that always brings some element of risk. But risk to the spectators, not so much these days. Sadly, sometimes to the pilots and the aircrew, yes, there is a risk. But efforts are taken to minimise this risk and make it as avoidable as possible.
Do you belong to any historical aviation society? And if you do, what do you do there?
Yes, I do. I belong to the Croydon Airport Society. I belong to the Catalina Society. The Catalina is a flying boat. And there's a bit of a family link there because my Uncle Ted was a navigator on Catalinas during the war. And also, did I say the Croydon Airport Society?
Yes.
Yes, I did. Another family link. My stepmother, part of her wartime service in the Second World War, she was in the WAF, Women's Auxiliary Air Force, and she spent some of her time in the meteorology section of RAF Croydon, as it was then. And the third one I belong to is the Blenheim Society, which was founded in 1987 to support the world's only airworthy twin-engine Bristol Blenheim bomber from the Second World War, and to bring together RAF ground crew, air crew, and indeed anybody else interested. And that's one of the reasons I'm going to air shows, is to work on the sales stand for the Blenheim Society to help raise money to support the aeroplane.
Do you read books, websites about aviation? And if you do, what was the most interesting fact you came across?
Yes, I do. An interesting fact, the picture behind me shows a Mark I Hurricane. And this aircraft has recently been immaculately restored to full flying condition. And the interesting thing about it is that it's a Battle of Britain combat veteran. This actually saw service in the Battle of Britain. And then after the war it became an instruction aeroplane and so on. They recovered it from India and restored it. And the other interesting thing is it was actually flown from RAF Croydon by a chap called Current, Squadron Leader Current, who was obviously nicknamed Bunny Current Bun. And he was a member of the Croydon Airport Society until he sadly died recently. But if you go to the RAF Museum in Hendon, you can see a pastel portrait of him among various other famous pilots. So, yes, a combat veteran still now flying again.
And do you make speeches about aviation?
Yes, I have done. My icebreaker included my first visit to Croydon Airport. As I recall, the theme of the speech was "It makes the hairs on the back of your neck stand up," something like that, or shivers down your spine. My first visit to Croydon Airport, I knew where it was because it's up there on the Pearly Way. So the first time I went there, if that place is haunted, I got no sense of foreboding or fear. So if it is haunted, there are very friendly ghosts at Croydon Airport.
Dear friends, the time of our show came to the end. Thank you for your attention. If you have any further questions, forward them to BBC Toastmasters Talk Show. Thank you, Dave, for your interesting interview. And may your plans and wish come true this year. And hope to see you at our talk show at some point again. And thank you.